Hey, let's talk about abortion. That's right. We're going to talk about some hard stuff today. This is your 10 to 15 second trigger warning. We'll be talking a little bit about the legal atmosphere in the US right now, but mostly I wanted to take this opportunity to share my abortion story. Yeah. So if you're not with it, I'll see you next week when we talk about something different. And if you are, well, then goddamn, let's get into it. Yeah, I'm thinking about abortion because of the current political climate. Yeah, our country as a whole is just going back asswards. How do you say that? Bass backwards. And I think a lot of folks would like to point at a particular region and be like, no, those particular people in that region are more problematic than the country. But no, I feel like these sentiments about hating femininity, but also trying to rob people, birthing people of their bodily autonomy, are a national sentiment. So don't get it twisted. Hate does not only live in the South, she said as a proud Southerner. Yeah, so it's on my mind, and I wanted to take the opportunity to tell my personal abortion story because I never have, and because I'm practicing truth telling for 2019, and yeah, I don't hold any belief that like telling my abortion story somehow humanizes me to pro-lifers. I feel like you can't guilt someone into recognizing your basic humanity. But yeah, I still want to tell my story. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, my story starts, I believe, when I was in the third grade. And I told my mom very matter-of-factly one day after school that I did not want to have children. She asked me if it was a sexuality issue, and it is not. It was more the issue of seeing the way that my mom did not want to have children and the ways I saw her feeling stressed. And she seemed to feel burdened all the time. And it made her, raising me, even though I was technically a good kid, made her be less than her best self. And I didn't want to be that. I didn't want to be angry and abusive towards a child, you know? It's not their fault they're here. So I chose very early on to not have children. Fast forward to having my first boyfriend at 17. My first boyfriend was a man named Sam, who was very sweet and very kind and very weird like me. And one of the few people in my life that I think ever really liked me, if that makes sense. Yeah, really liked me as a whole weirdo. And that was very, very important to me. And in a lot of ways, he felt like my most closest friend. Yeah. So when I went away to college, Sam came with me, and he low-key like lived illegally in my dorm room and was a fixture on my college campus. Matter of fact, people started to call him Jesus because at the same time that I was being educated, he was educating himself and started wearing long robes and carrying a staff. It was a whole situation. And yeah, I fell pregnant. And I knew that I wasn't going to tell him. It was not an option. For two reasons. I knew that I wasn't going to be in a relationship with him my whole life, and I knew that I would outgrow him probably pretty quickly. And also, I felt that he was going to be shamey and possibly prevent me from having an abortion because of his new religiosity, if that makes any sense. So I decided to go it alone. So I took my ass up to the Planned Parenthood because my whole life I'd been hearing about how Planned Parenthood does this particular service. And I don't know, I felt like I had also heard from progressive folks, left-leaning folks, about how, they're doing the Lord's work and health care for poor women and blah, blah, blah. And they just been painted, the organization had just been painted in my head as like, I don't know, affordable medical care for people like me. It was not the case, unfortunately. Capitalism is king and Planned Parenthood ain't no goddamn different. I did not have the funds, and so they turned me away for services. That is, by the way, one of 2 times in which I have been turned away for services from Planned Parenthood. The first for abortion care, reproductive care, whatever you call it. And the second for cancer care. So they just really, if you don't give a fuck, if you don't have the money, they don't give a fuck about you. And also Margaret Sanger is a eugenicist. Just saying. Anyway, moving on with my life. I wasn't able to get services there, and so, like everything else in my life, I knew that I needed to figure it out for my goddamn self. And at the time, I was working in a biology lab, and so I stole some equipment. I'm not going to get into detail about it, but yeah, I stole some equipment, and I did it myself with no real knowledge about what I was doing. No real knowledge about how much cramping was normal, how much blood was normal, what does it feel like if you have an infection. No real knowledge or plan, just fear. And I just want to point that out because the fear of having a child and raising that child for 20-something years was stronger than the fear that I might do something to my body that would cause harm, best case scenario, death, worst case scenario. So yeah, soon after that, I'm pretty sure that me and the boyfriend broke up. I definitely never got pregnant again because I made the choice pretty much right after that to become queer. It just seemed to me that I was equally attracted, or rather not attracted, to all of the genders. So being queer might be a good way to have built-in birth control, but still achieve the partnerships that are so necessary to human survival. Fast forward to me of today that knows that I'm asexual, but I didn't know it at the time. I just thought, anyway. Do I regret my abortion? Yes and no. I regret it in the sense that as an asexual person, I will not have a partner. I don't have children. Elder care is going to be hard for me. I worry about homelessness a lot. People without a safety net, without a support system. Yeah. That me. In terms of not regretting it, I don't regret it in terms of the ways that not having a child has afforded me freedom. The time to do real self-development work, the time to just sit and think. And the opportunity to end the cycle of abuse. Like my mom was abused by her mom. I was abused by my mom. At some point it had to end, and I think that it's a very powerful choice to end it with me. And that's all I'll say about that. So I'll close out this video by saying, hey, thank you for listening to my story. And I hope it wasn't too traumatizing. And here's to telling the truth. Yeah. Thanks for watching, y'all. Take good care. I love you.